I hear it all the time, especially from those who claim the religion of Christianity and not following the teachings of Christ and Moses, because Christ never disagreed with Moses, contrary to what your religion says. Well, it's coming to bite them again. Over at the Britons, all right, the Brits, they are actually suffering from hepatitis C from imported pork from the EU. And it's become almost an epidemic in that country. Can you imagine that? First of all, number one, you shouldn't be eating that swine anyway. Because you go read Leviticus 11, it's called a dietary law. In other words, the architect of the universe, what he did is he turned around, and this is what he did. He actually said, you know what? I created you. This is what you should put in your body. Now, if you follow this and you put this in your body, then you will be fine concerning health and life. But if you don't, then all these diseases are going to start coming up on you. And of course, and when he says it's unclean to you, I understand, believe me, it was to my people, the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites. Believe me, I know, because Moses was a Hebrew, Abraham's a Hebrew, Jacob was a Hebrew. He had 12 sons from 4 different women, and they were all called Israelites. Yep, that was my family, my ancient family. You know, when you look on the hieroglyphics and you see all those black people in slavery, back then of the Egyptians, and that's what most of you mess it up when your theology, you think that just because enslaved people came from the continent of Africa, you said that we enslaved our own people, or our own people enslaved us. That could be nothing further from the truth. The Africans are not our people, never has been our people, and never will be our people. Now, the only way they can be our people is if they convert, and then they can become an Israelite. But anyway, we have laws. And I understand the reason why Christianity goes against that, because it's amazing. You use our book, and then you tell people that this doesn't apply to you because you're Christians. It's remarkable. It's utterly remarkable and amazing. And that ain't what our book says. So therefore, you suffer all these diseases, all these sicknesses, because you're trying to have the creator of the universe your way, kind of like you do McDonald's. And it just ain't the way that it's intended to be. So you'd be better off listening to someone like me who's telling you the truth, and maybe you can have a little bit of health on you. But hey, they're suffering from hepatitis C from eating this big old pig, this nasty, foul, raunchy, stinky pig, which has a worm in it that's called the trichinosis worm, that at 450 degrees Fahrenheit, you hear me? That worm, even when you cook it, and that's roasting the charcoal, that worm never dies. So you know what happens every time you eat pig? It lodges in your intestinal tract. Then it starts attaching itself to your ligaments and everything else, and you have ailments. You deserve all these diseases simply because you won't do what the Bible says. Stay away from swine.